One of the components that can help us understand the social, cultural, and political identity of an historic region is its architecture. Architecture brings to light the lifestyle of the people. What caught our attention more than anything else in the region of Hozdar, which is 60 kilometers to the southwest of the ancient city of Zabul, was the huge mass of historic and ancient ruins. Ruins that draw a perfect picture of just how impressive this land must have been. That's why we can venture to say that the Hozdar region is a museum of old Persia. Amongst all the castles and invaluable pieces of history scattered on this land, the Rostam Castle shines brighter than any other. A magnificent fortress that stands tall as if mocking time. It's as old as the Safavid period and is a worthy example of the grandeur and elegance of that dynasty. The epic tale of Shahnameh or Book of Kings, written 1,000 years ago by the great Persian poet Ferdowsi, tells the story of legendary heroic figures. The most celebrated of these heroes was Rostam, the mightiest of the Iranian paladins in the Book of Kings, and he was from old Sistan. Maybe it's because of the sheer size and magnificence of this castle that it has come to be known as the Rostam Castle. It's also said that the fortress was named after the original owner, who was also the ruler of this land, Rostam. In my opinion, what makes this fortress different from the rest is the feeling you get when you walk in its ruins. It's as if these crumbling walls are whispering to you, trying to let you know that they're alive. They want to tell you the story of the people who walked past them, leaned against them, the ancestors who built them tall and fought to keep them upright.
خود این مجموعه یک دروازه ورودی داره و یک خندق بسیار بزرگ که مانع بازدارندگی دشمن بوده. خود این قلعه هم در واقع یک جورایی میشه گفتش که دژ نظامی منطقه هست.
This beauty that's slumbering in the desert is made of thatch and mud bricks. Inside the citadel fortress, you can see many structures that put on display the ingenuity of Persian architecture. The ruler's residence is one of them. Without a doubt, the most intact building is the Yakhdan, or the ice house, an intelligent solution to preserve ice during the extremely hot and dry days of the summer. This land thrived way back in the late Sasanian dynasty some 1,500 years ago, reaching the height of its might and glory in the mid-Safavid period. The remains of castles and windmills are scattered all over this area, literally as far as the eye can see. So many windmills point to the abundance of wheat and other cereals in this region all those many, many years ago. Everything starts with a need for or lack of something. Here, the need for bread. To produce flour, Persians harnessed the power of the wind to grind the wheat. The constant strong winds of this region allowed the people of Old Sistan to be the first to develop the technology to utilize the wind power about 2,800 years ago. It's the pure, clean air that makes the propellers of the windmills, or as the locals call them, our spots, rotate, the life-giving air that we all breathe. As the propellers rotated, they moved the huge stone inside that rubbed against its basin, grinding the grains.
این نوع فن و تخصص بعداً به کشورهای اروپایی میره. در کشورهای اروپایی پره‌هایی که ایجاد میشه برعکس به صورت افقی هست و به صورت عمودی نیست، بلکه در سیستان در واقع ما این نوع پره‌ها رو که به صورت عمودی کار میکنه داریم.
ما اینجا در این منطقه 7 آسباد داریم که اونها هم نمادهای هوشمندی و خرد ایرانی ها در جاری زمان هستند. این آسبادها یک پیام بسیار مهم در منطقه هزدار داره و اون هستش که این منطقه بسیار آبادی است. اونقدر گندم زیاد تولید میشه که باید برای آردش فکر و چاره‌اندیشی میشده و 7 آسباد رو داریم.
Arched and dome-shaped ceilings are typical of Persian architecture. Near the Rostam Castle, next to the windmills, another castle with a somewhat different architecture calls out to the people who pass it by. This castle too dates back to the Safavid period, but it's in much better shape compared to its cousins. The Machi Castle has even managed to preserve its porches and windows that look down on the courtyard within. The entrance is made up of 3 arches that are connected to one another, reminiscent of the Aryana architectural forms. I have come to realize that the province of Sistan and Baluchestan has many faces. Generation after generation, the spirits of the ancestors have been wedded to this land. Here, among these many secluded, historic adobe castles and windmills, you can glimpse the collected essence of old Persia. This is Gulnar Farnudi for Iran.